Welcome to OTES on the Go, the best solution for meeting OTES requirements. OTES on the Go is currently being used to evaluate thousands of teachers in the state of Ohio. OTES on the Go has many benefits for option 1, 2, or 3 districts. OTES on the Go does not require a Wi-Fi connection to be used. You currently are looking at the opening screen in OTES on the Go. If you tap the teacher button, you will go to a list of teachers. You can delete teachers, add new teachers, or import a list of teachers. From this layout, you can also schedule observations. You would tap in the date field, select a date, tap in the time field, select a time, and now your observation is scheduled. Other options include the ability to complete a summative page, add additional evidence, complete a professional growth plan, or email the scheduled observation to your calendar. Now I'm going to tap the yellow arrow to return to the previous page. At the bottom of this layout, you will see a list of scheduled observations. To create a new observation, you can either tap on the New button or simply tap on a name in the list. After tapping the name, you can choose to do a formal narrative observation, informal narrative walkthrough, the state walkthrough checklist, or a custom walkthrough that meets your building specific needs. I'm going to tap the walkthrough checklist to create a new walkthrough. From here, I simply tap the items that I want to select. I can add comments. Or I can add recommendations to this. At the bottom, I can tap on the signature line and sign my name to the walkthrough. When I'm finished, then I can email the walkthrough, and I'll go to the teacher. And here is what a preview or what the walkthrough looks like when you're completed. If I tap on the yellow arrow, it takes me back to a list of all my walkthroughs. I can do a summary report of all my walkthroughs by tapping on the Building Report button. And this shows me all of the walkthrough results for this one particular teacher, Jonathan Clark. I can also remove that and just say show me all of the results for my total building, and then you will get a nice summary list of how your teachers are doing. You can also make that list a specific date range, so maybe I want to compare the end of the year to the beginning of the year. And that's a quick overview of the walkthroughs. Now I'm going to select a formal observation, and this will create a brand new blank observation for me. At the top of the layout, you will see a group of user-defined buttons that you can use to insert comments into the narrative. You can also use your keyboard to type directly into the narrative. Some users will handwrite their observations and then use the microphone option on the keyboard to dictate their observation into the OTES on the Go. You can store up to 288 pre-programmed insert buttons by clicking on the Edit tab at the top. And on this layout, you can enter in the different items that you want to pick, and they are organized by category. So this is all user-defined in here. You can also change the category headings by clicking on the Tab Keys tab, and then you can input in the different or you can change the headings that you might want to have in here. To use these, what you would do is you just tap a button and that inserts that item in here, and again you can just tap those. You can also type directly in here if you wanted to, so you don't have to use the buttons, or even if you want to say get rid of the buttons, up at the top if you click on the little share icon in the upper right hand corner, there's an option to hide those buttons, which then would allow you to then type directly into those fields. You can also score your items back to the rubric on this layout by tapping on the rubric button. Once you do that, then you can pick a standard and give it a rating. And then you'll also see a description of what that rating means. And you can toggle between these items by clicking on the little black up and down arrows. Typically, I don't recommend scoring everything that you put in here. I would only score the things that you think are significant for that rating. Here's an example on how you can use the microphone option on the keyboard. First thing you would do is you would select the microphone and then you would start to dictate. So let's select the microphone. The teacher did an excellent job during the observation period. Students were fully engaged in the lesson period. She demonstrated the skills of an accomplished teacher period. So very easily I was able just to dictate straight into that. So very nice feature to use. At the bottom of this form there's also a place where you can sign and the teacher can sign. We just tap signature and we put that in here. If you want to email that observation to the teacher, you would click on the little share icon in the upper right hand corner and then we could pick email observation. If you want to view that observation, we'll hit the PDF observation option and go to preview, and we can now see what that observation looked like. If you tap the narrative observation button, you will see a list of previously completed observations. There are many reports that you can generate from OTES on the go. The building report shows a detailed look at how your teachers are doing across all parts of the rubric. You can specify a date range for this report. This gives you a nice summary to see how everybody is doing as a group. Tap the blue arrow to the right to go to that observation. And if you tap the yellow swirl arrow in the upper left hand corner, you can return back to the list. The score summary report gives a breakdown of your rating. It's very similar to the building report, except it's for that individual observation, and you have to create this for a teacher for that to be included in that building report. The current observation organizes your observation. You can assign ratings to the different areas or add comments to this report. If you click the little PDF icon, you can either print or preview this report. You can also email it. We're just going to view it here just so you can see how this report looks. Get a nice summary of that whole observation. You can also sign it and have the teacher sign this report. The teacher yearly report is similar, but it takes all of your observations and combines them into one report. If you notice here, when we're looking at this now, you'll see dates on here. So we can see, for instance, in this report, we can see information that was gathered on 9/12, and then below that we can see from 1/15. So it gives you a nice summary report of everything that you've collected. And again, you can PDF this one or email this one. And here's a sample what that report looks like. Similar to the other report, except again it is broken down by dates. If you're an Option 1 district, you can also use the ETPES web browser option. What this will do for you is it will allow you to log in to ETPES from the program, and then you can transfer information straight from the program right into ETPES. For instance, if you come over here on the left hand side, you can see your observation, and if you tap on an item then you can come over here and paste that item into that. You can also grab a whole group of items. Say for instance, if you want all the 3s, you'll tap the little 3S icon, come over to the skilled section, tap in there, and do paste. So this is a very nice way of moving information that you've gathered from OTES on the go right into ETPES. The rubric checklist gives you a nice overview on how that teacher's doing. You can complete this on every teacher. That way they can see where they're at, also what they need to be working on. And here's what that report looks like when you send it to a teacher. You get a nice summary on how that teacher's doing. And the last option here is the evaluation rubric. And what that will do for you is it will create a report and it will transfer all your evidence onto the teacher performance evaluation rubric. And so you can start to see all the information you've gathered, and it completes that form for you. Thank you for watching this video of OTES on the Go, the best solution for meeting your OTES requirements.